How are we feeling about the show, guys?
We haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I think it went very well. Right, yeah. We're all songwriters, I guess, and we decided to team up for Halloween. We've made a special record of terrifying songs, and we're going to play it for you.
I think one of the most exciting things about the EP for me is that it is a genuine collaboration.
We have a really great time hanging out together.
We have created something that we want to listen to, something that we would buy if someone else had made it.
So, what's the scariest thing ever? Well, obviously, the opinion is divided.
Children! Children!
Okay, apparently opinion isn't divided. I actually agree with that, but the best I could come up with at the time when coming up with this first one was Ghosts Who Can't Dance. This is a song based around the idea that if white people have no rhythm, then ghosts are going to be the logical extrapolation.
It's like the dessert before the main course, even if that's a bit arse about face. But it's just such fun to play, and I think that transmits itself to the listener as well.
That still is the picture of it that I have is of Sam's living room in Whitney, and us all gathered around the piano, just completely going for it with this song. That I think was the moment at which not at which we had an EP, but at which we realised that we could play as a three, and do something more than simply reinterpret each other's stuff.
It just sort of breezes in and then makes you smile and makes you tap your foot.
The thing I like about El Miedo is increasingly that we fucked up the recording and went really out of time, and then tried to sort of comfort ourselves by saying, yeah man, but that's kind of representative of the, you know, awful, shitty dancing they're doing. Which is obviously total crap, but then actually I'm really warming to that idea and it totally makes sense now, and if we had a chance to re-record it, I'd try and make it really out of time again.
Sam had this chord sequence, which he couldn't write.
For some reason, one moment that sticks is on the train to the Frankfurt Book Fair, just sitting there scribbling away and trying to come up with something, and failing.
And it was more than a chord sequence. There was a song. There's just no words, and he tried and we tried, and there were all these different ideas. What could it be about?
I thought about doing it and making it about a wolf.
I think it was a fairly straight up sort of love song at first.
I had a version about it being, it was about the ghost of a pickpocket.
And just as much as it could not be written, and neither would it go away, I think we all knew that it was, particularly once Max got involved and wrote his little bass line, that it was too good. It was too good a tune to not finish.
It was really frustrating, but of course commensurately pleasurable when I sorted it out finally.
Out on the prowl, in a discotheque, I heard an owl. I said, wait a sec. I could swear I let you free fall.
We were just showing it to Max. Not even really showing it to him, but we just happened to play it when he was there, I think. And he reached out and picked up his guitar and said, yeah, I suppose it should probably have a bass line that goes like this. And then just play this thing, which has come to define the song, almost. It's quite extraordinary. It's the last thing we added, and it now feels completely inextricable.
I think it's sort of perfectly told in the way it ends, where we're furiously at it for what seems like about 20 minutes, but is actually only 2 minutes long.
challenge of writing a song, the lyrics of which are entirely devoted to describing something, but doesn't actually tell you anything about it.
I don't actually imagine it at all as like a horse with a monkey, like a sort of centaur type thing. I don't think of it like that in the least. I just think of it as this mad thing thundering along.
When it finishes and then panic is the last thing you hear with no other instruments, I feel I've just sort of emerged from something, or something's just happened to me, or I've been party to it hurtling along.
I like about it that it is literally a hybrid. You know, it discusses this hybrid creature, and it is a hybrid song. It is two things written by different people glued together. There is an extent to which the tune engenders the feeling that the lyrics are trying to describe. This feeling of sort of hiding under something while something else very large and incomprehensible and fast gallops past.
It comes along, and the musical happens as part of something that you're not in control of, and yet you end up creating what it is. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Something in the warmer air is asking him, why don't he dare to talk to her?
I knew it was scary, but that didn't seem enough. It was when I had the idea to make it scary and kind of romantic, so that the two were two sides of the same coin in a way. That what was so seductive was precisely what was so frightening. So I remember saying to a moment, yeah, it's about a lad who's frightened of a ghost train.
I think the genius of the Spontaneous Skeleton Express is that it starts out with Sam and the piano, and then it just bleeds across into the guitar, and then it's just guitars and vocals after that. The piano doesn't come back at all, but you don't realise that. It's such a full-on tune.
It is totally me, I guess. I mean, not that happened to me, but it was me who was frightened of ghost trains, and yet had this total fascination for them, and was standing around, just like in the song, you know, just sort of staring and wanting to go on and not daring, and I guess that is how I felt and feel about girls as well.
The man with spiders over his eyelids stood there by the door, so he never ever dared go through.
Sam had it written in full. It was a piano song. We did what we were doing at the time, what we still do, which is, you know, sometimes we work out an arrangement where I play the guitar of one of Sam's songs, and we were playing around with it in Max's presence, and Max, I'm pretty sure it was him, suggested this phenomenal sort of stereo-y thing that we were doing with the guitars.
Because you've got Sam centre, and then us on left and right, and there's so much going on. But yeah, we nearly basically share every single note.
Well, Klaus, who's a little scaredy cat, little boy should be in bed, so wonderful to play. Hey, there, don't you up, cry, catch him with the catches, bound to like a puppy, just to find out the boat.
Of course, it didn't actually get finished until we stood at the bus stop in Whitney and worked out those harmonies.
Hanging out at the bus stop just down the way by the bay tree, figuring out harmonies, waiting for the bus, and then them being on, yeah, just amazing, really, really good.
Bring me the mountains, bring me the sea, but there's no one alive who feels like me. This could be the beginning, take me away. My heart is alive with sudden dismay.
I find it still very hard to get through the second chorus without leaping out of my chair and swanning around the room, bouncing up and down at the bus stop, and it's really exciting, and I can't tell you how many times I've heard that piece of music.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's moving to me because it was a song that existed that I had, but before you and Max got involved with it musically, but what's happened to it now, the version that we have, feels so absolutely right and exciting, and like was such a wonderful collision of what you do musically and the song I had, and it's wonderful. The Skeleton Express, you know, it's a sort of grand finale, but it's not the end. It wasn't right to be the end. There had to be something that came after it. I think it's wonderful for many reasons. The fact that Max suddenly sings, you got the unexpected third voice coming in. That's beautiful. The way Max sings it is lovely.
I don't normally sing. I mean, also you and Sam do, and you do it so well. But I think that I was really happy to do the vocal on that one, knowing my voice and it being a bit sort of, yeah, not having like complete control. And then it being a sort of like, it being a monologue as well of a character. I think that the way that I'm able to sing, which is slightly faltering sometimes, really suited the way that Klaus is. Klaus is no singer. That's not what he's there to do. He's there to tell.
They came with their pitchforks, all hubbub and flame, and outside their ignorance proudly proclaimed.
I always think that I don't write love songs, but of course this is one, really.
I don't see him oddly. I see the view out of the window clearly, and the sunset, and the moment, well, the kind of the burning torches, the hubbub and flame. You know, that's something I see. But then the thing I never lose is the 2 steps to the casement and then you are free. You know, I can absolutely vividly see that.
At the Catweasel show, when I put on my Victorian spectacles and put my hair back, it's not. I didn't really think that was gimmickry in a way. I thought it was just another sort of level to the depth of the EP.
I still don't know entirely what to say about it, because it's almost nothing at all, and it feels silly to be silly about it.
It's so beautiful. It's hard for me to talk about it without becoming emotional. I mean, the lyrics, the tune, the way they fit together.
And I want, yeah, Klaus.
The big warmth that I carry away with me from this record is that with everything that we do, it just reminds me, and will always remind me, of spending many cracking times with 2 really good friends.
It's crazy because you're in this big recording studio, and there's this huge control desk, and Dean is there. Dean McCarthy, our wonderful sound engineer, pressing all these buttons and doing all these things and saying, you know, can you hold this please? You know, and gives you an object which makes no sense, and you're just there, and he's doing all this stuff. And you think, wow, this is like, it's just like what I imagine being a real musician is like.
And I think it's interesting to think about the whole EP in terms of all the things it explores, which are nothing to do with spooky stuff. I mean, there's so much of life in there, which is not reducible to, you know, like ghosts and goblins and stuff.
Fly, my love, away. Well, we think so. Yes, that's it. Let's fuck off.